Good morning, everyone. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker. How is everyone doing today? Sounds like the boys are very um, crazy this morning. A lot of growling in the background. I'm just going to go and find the chat, see what's going on over there. I hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. I was trying to think. I've been, ever since Thanksgiving, I've been kind of screwed up on my days. So, and I don't think I'm the only one. I might be the only one. I'm just screwed up in general, but my days have been pretty messed up. So, hope everybody's having a good morning. I'm doing pretty good. I got up and sat in my chair for a minute and kind of dozed off. And then I got up and said, Valerie, you need to get some stuff done. So then I got started and got all my things that I sold and together for my mail call video. Um, Went and did that, and yeah, that's basically what my mornings consisted of. So it's been a good morning. Haven't been like rushed or um, you know, anything put me in a bad mood. It's a good morning. I woke up. I'm above ground. I'm doing good. Mike, my savior. I sold that Polaroid about 24 minutes after the um, the challenge ended, and I sold it. I sold it for 15 buckaroos. So thank you very much for telling me don't ditch it, keep it and list it and sell it. So kudos to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Good morning, Shantae. Yeah, so we're having it's been a pretty good morning. Ringo is on a roll. And really, I should have known better than to ditch that because normally Polaroids will sell whether they work or not. So I should have known better. Good morning, Miss Nikki.
Hi, what happened?
So I had a Polaroid yesterday during the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work. It didn't work, and so because I have one of the little cartridges, so I put it in. It didn't work. So I threw it over in my ditch pile, and Mike's on the chat saying, "No, don't do it." He says, "List it." He said, "You
Yeah.
won't get as much." It wasn't a it wasn't a Polaroid 600. It was a
Mm-hmm.
660 Sun 660 or something. He said you
Yeah.
won't get as much, but he said you'll still get 15 bucks or whatever. So
Yeah.
I yeah,
And you sold it already?
I sold it. I
Yeah, I
actually
saw you
sold it
holding it up in here.
30 minutes after the challenge was over.
Huh.
And then I
And are
had
you sure
this
your cartridge works?
yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And then but I had sold the it's called Pretty Pretty Princess. It's a board game for kids.
Yeah.
It's like
Those
it
still
has
work.
it has little jewelry and stuff like that, but it was
Mm-hmm.
incomplete. So I listed it at 558 and it sold at 624.
Huh.
So I had two items that sold pretty much back to back after the challenge was over.
Of course.
That's okay.
What are their names?
Jessica and Tara won.
Oh, they won together?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so they split. Tara, I can't remember when it was. It was pretty close to the end. I think it was probably about 5:15, 5:30 when she sold her, and it was a free item that she got from the free pile at the thrift shop. And
Nice.
she didn't even pay nothing for it. It was a crucifix.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Hank. She said she kept getting the mail call show and not knowing what the heck was that she was doing wrong. She got it. Yeah, Nikki, she's already up and she's ready to list today.
I am.
Right?
I am.
Good.
You gotta focus.
I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you're over your hiatus.
I'm trying.
I'm glad. I'm so happy. I think you needed that. I think you just needed a little push, and the fact that your husband is you know getting ready to quit his job. That's definitely a motivation. You know, so I think that'll be good.
Do you
Yeah, Hank.
realize in the last 90 days, I have only sold $679 worth of stuff?
Wow.
In 90 days.
So when you were hot and heavy in it, what would your 90 days be like?
Well, I used to sell at least, I never had under probably a bring home. I used to bring home $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
That's good.
Take home.
Right. So really, I mean, because I usually, with all the fees and everything and the shipping and everything, I usually say double whatever those numbers are, basically. So if
Yeah.
I say, I sold 3,000, I brought home 15 is usually what
Yeah.
what I look at. That's just kind
Yeah.
of a rough estimate, but that's the way I look at it.
And
So
and some months I made more than that, but that's what I pretty much said was my average, was about 3,000 to 4,000 a month,
that's awesome.
which is really good. Yeah.
Those are really good numbers.
I'd like to double that though for my husband to stay home.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not to that point yet. I would actually love to be able to,
Yeah.
pay my bills with my eBay. And
Yeah.
I'm not quite to that point yet. Um but I'm working on it.
To
Let's
get to that
see.
goal, I only have, it says for my fixed price listings, I only have $2,167.80 amount of stuff listed. If everything's sold at what
Wow.
I have it listed for, it's only at $2,167.
Wow.
That's terrible. And I've got a lot of high priced things.
Yeah.
Well, a
Well,
little bit higher.
how many items do you have up?
I only have 52 items.
Yeah.
Well, actually, quantity 119 because I got some multiple quantities in there.
Right.
I mean, I've got one item that's only a $5 item every time it sells, but there's 45 of them,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
plus shipping. So
Right. Yep. Time to
yeah, it's terrible.
time to kick it in. Kick it
Yeah,
into gear.
I saw that number the other day of what I was making, and I was like, "Oh my God, is that terrible?"
Well, it's not terrible. It's just,
It is horrible. 90
well,
days, I made a little over $600.
well, I know, but you know, you've not
No,
been hot and
that's
heavy in it.
that's what I've sold. That ain't what I've made. It's terrible. And usually I don't talk about my numbers. I don't
Right.
usually talk about what I sell because I'm not a real braggy kind of person.
Right.
I don't want I don't want people going, "Oh man, why can't I sell that much?" or "Oh, she doesn't sell very much." I'm not into sharing that information, but I just thought this is what happens when you don't do your job.
Right. It's very
You know,
true.
I thought, well, I can tell you guys. You guys are my friends. You know, now that's terrible.
But, you know, it just means that you're going to go forward from here. You know,
Yeah,
you're going to move forward, you're going to get those numbers up and you're going to make things happen and Ringo
yeah.
is playing piggyback with Roscoe. Um
And then that 3 to 4 thousand a month, that was the lowest I've made.
yeah,
You know, that's about what I used to average. You know, if I average the whole year out, that's probably about what I average a month.
right.
So that's more than I made at not at FedEx, but at that stupid job I had after FedEx. That's way more than what I made there. So I mean, I could raise my family on $4,000 a month.
Right.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
but
Yeah, and I'm hoping that, you know, um whenever the move happens, I'm hoping that I can, you know, broaden my horizons and, you know, get more interesting higher dollar stuff. Um, I know when I was doing some research around that area, there's quite a few auction houses. Um, so that may, you know, that may be something that I get into. And I've actually been kind of exploring the whole. I'm not, I'm not dead set on it, but I'm actually exploring the whole warehouse. You know, renting a place, an office space, or something of that nature to have my, you know, to have basically to have everything there for me to list all of my inventory, you know, listed and unlisted. Just because I don't feel that my daughter and her husband are buying a house or they're, you know, they're looking to buy a house. So for them, it's more likely that they're going to get like a 3 bedroom or, you know, something around um, that size. And I can't expect them to, you know, um, wait around for me and, you know, I either can do that or I can just rent a place, you know, um, rent a little duplex or something.
mhm.
But, you know, there's options. And I was even talking about, you know, buying like a cheap little travel trailer and put it on the property because they want a property with land. So even if I just had,
Mhm.
you know, I could put my inventory in there and then, you know, just have my office in my room and then,
Yeah.
you know, work out of that. There's a lot of variables that can can go on from that. So, you know, I'm just trying to look at all the options.
Yeah.
But, you know, I won't know anything um until they get their house and, you know, they figure out what they're doing. So, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of options out there that um that can happen. So, yeah, I completely agree. Sassy Seller said starting fresh will be an amazing. freeing experience. Yeah, I totally agree. And I can't wait for that time. I cannot wait. But
Well, that's like Hank said, just don't let comparisons to anybody else's business get you down. Everybody
right,
needs and wants are different, so do what you need for you.
right,
I know that's one of the reasons why I never talk about how much I make, because I don't want people comparing them to my business. And um, my numbers before were what I needed. They were
right,
fine.
right,
A lot of people might say, "Oh, you only brought home 3,000 to 4,000 a month." I didn't need to make any more than that.
right,
Um, my husband can pay most of our bills by himself. Um, and well, I mean, if we tightened our belt, our bootstraps, or whatever you want to call it, um, if we tightened up our belt, he could pay everything, you know. But without my income, we would never have anything extra,
right,
you know. Um, but or if we did, it would be very little. So I mean, that's all I needed was, play money, I mean, so even though I was more focused and I got my work done, I didn't have to work any harder than I did,
right,
because I did just fine. But now that my husband wants to quit his job, now I need to focus on making more than that, at least doubling it, um, or trying to get as close as I can, because I just like to make sure, um, the money's there,
right. All the,
nothing worse than not being
everything's
able to pay your
covered.
bills. Yeah.
And even if
I
you
mean,
do, even if you do make more and you don't more than you need, that's uh, that's kind of your cushion for,
mhm.
the slow months
Most
or
of
slow
the time.
times or whatever. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I got a kicker in the butt. And like this morning, I mean, well, like last night, I went to bed before Walking Dead even came on.
wow.
I was so tired. I was just like, it was 10 minutes before Walking Dead started. I was like, you know what? I can't. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. And I went to bed. I woke up at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I've been up ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. Trying desperately to try to get some more sleep, but I can't. So
Well,
because it's supposed to be like 45 degrees today outside. So I have plans of digging in that van. I mean, the other day we were digging in that van to find my snow pants for my daughter to use
uh-huh.
and for snowcross. And while my husband was digging in that van, bitching me out because the van's so full of stuff. He's like, Jesus, Nikki, this has got you're out of line. Well, anyways, because the van is full. I mean, you couldn't even sit in the driver's seat.
Oh gosh.
That's my old van that I used to drive all the time.
Mhm.
So, anyways, well, what else can I use it for, right? It's just sitting there, so I might as well use it for storage.
Right.
Well, anyways, as he was digging around in the stuff, I'm like, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Why don't I have that listed? Ooh, look at there, Sell really good this time of year, I mean, it was like crazy. It was like shopping again, And so I
Yeah.
was like, yep, today it's supposed to be like 45 degrees out, and get some stuff out, go work out in my garage. Yes, I'm trying to be focused today.
Yeah.
I have to take a shower yet, but once I take a shower, then I'll be more energized.
Right. Yeah, I'm planning, what my plan is to get some listing done um after the show, but
Mhm.
that I do plan on because it's supposed to be 70s here, which is crazy. It's so
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 70s today. So
And
there
the
is no
storage is
excuse. There's
good.
no excuse not to be outside getting some stuff done in the garage. Got to get it done now before it gets really cold. I have a funny feeling that this winter is not going to be, horrible.
I
I
know
kind of have,
as early as ours started, I thought, oh shit, we're in for it.
right.
Old man winter is.
I don't know. I just have this feeling that it's not going to be. I mean, I've been in the first winter that I was here. It was horrible. I was ready to go back to California. I was like, I cannot do this. Um, but this year it's not normal. It's not
Yeah,
normal for it to be these temperatures at this time of the year.
yeah,
So, and I think it's all week. I think it's supposed to be in the 60s. And from what I've heard, we're not even supposed to, not even the talk of snow until I think it's I think it's the second week of December.
huh,
So, and I'm thinking, okay, so the second week of December, and usually I've seen snow in May. Like I think it was May 2nd, I seen
wow,
snow, which was a really late, but usually I would say usually right around March, by March it's usually over and we start warming up again. So, that's only a couple of months. So I can deal with that, you know. But I'm excited. John said, hi, sorry I'm late. Have my 6-month MRI scan today. Well, hope everything came okay. Came out all right. Everything went good. Hank says she's got to run. She's got to make sure she eats something, drinks a bunch of water, and get this essay done and turned in today. Waking up with headaches every day because of dehydration. Well, don't do that. Drink your water. Get your water
yeah.
drink.
I've been waking up with headaches too. I wonder if that's why. Probably dehydration causes a lot of crap.
That's
What
awesome, Thrifty
happened
Picker. She said she had 12 items, packing up 12 items today. That's very, very good.
with that?
I need to check. Oh, I think they did. Okay.
Oh, I just scared the crap out of them. Opening my pop startled them.
um, let's see. But yeah, I I know what it. We both know what it takes to, you know, to get this going and get things,
Mm-hmm.
popping and everything. And I think the fourth quarter. I think this season,
Mm-hmm.
people are buying more, but it's all based on your listing. And I'm not saying you have to list 100 things a day. I'm just saying list 20 things a day. If you're a part timer and you got a full time job, list 5 things a day. Just get on your computer, get on your eBay, and be active. And you know, um, consistent is the key right there. So
I'm under the wrong account here.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
See, I have my Poplar Picker channel, but they have it under branded account.
Hmm.
Whereas this is my Poplar Picker account, but it's not the branded account. They're both
Right.
attached, but
Huh.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how it happened, but anyways, it's let me change it. So I don't know.
That's weird.
So if I ever do get to make money on my YouTube, it probably won't work because I don't know how it happened.
Well, is there any way to take your private one off?
There we go.
Like delete it? Oh, okay, you got it. So
Well,
it
the
doesn't.
thing is that the one that I'm in the chat now with is Poplar Picker,
Right.
but it's not. It's under poplarpicker@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
But my other account that I was just on, the one that I'm on live with, this one with my van picture in it,
Uh-huh.
that one's also poplarpicker@gmail.com. But the
Huh.
one that I'm in the chat, that one is my channel. That I have all my subscribers and stuff. And the picture with me and my nephews. That one it says it's my brand account. It's not a private account, it's my brand account, it calls it.
Hmm.
And then let me like change it to my name or anything.
Uh-huh.
I'll only keep it at Poplar Picker. But this one that I'm on live with you is my personal Poplar Picker account. And it's connected to the other account, but I don't know. I don't know how I ended up with two accounts with the same email, and I have no clue.
Well,
No clue.
I don't know how you would fix that.
I don't know.
Or
And I
if
don't
there
want to
is.
go and delete my other account because that's got
No.
all my subscribers and stuff.
Right.
What happened if
I
I deleted this account? I'm not sure.
yeah.
But one of these days I'll have to talk to one of the big YouTubers that knows what they're talking about. Maybe
Yeah.
message one of them and see if they'll help me.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Now you're going to get 2 thumbs up from me because I thumbed you up with my other account. And now I'm thumbing you up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Where's Sally? Um, let's see here.
John, you're 6'6". Wow. My
Yeah,
husband's
you're
6.
a tall dude.
I couldn't imagine another 3 more inches. Holy crap. My husband's 6'3", so that's 3 more inches taller than my husband. That's probably about my brother. My brother is I think my brother is 6'6" or 6'7", so he's
Uh-huh.
got a duck when he goes through some doorways.
Wow.
Size 19.5 feet.
Woof.
That's what size the shoe is, 19.5.
Oh my gosh.
He's my
Wow.
big brother.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Mike was 6'4". So he was a tall guy. And for me, I'm 5'6", so I've always been told, my grandmother, my great grandmother, they're all tall. My dad's 6', 6'1", I think. And I've always been told that I was tall, but when you're standing next to a guy that's 6'4", you
Yeah.
feel kind of shrimpy.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I'm 5'7", which is average. When I was growing up, it was a little taller than most girls,
Right.
but now it's about average.
Yeah.
Tall. They're both 9'1", 6". I don't know. I think they're both 5'9". I don't know. They're somewhere around between 5'9" and 6 foot tall, somewhere around in there. Anyways, My husband is 6'3", and they both have both my girls. Well, my one girl she's size 11 in men's shoes,
Wow.
and my other one is size 11 in women's shoes. So yeah,
Wow.
they got big feet. I got big feet too, though. I'm size 11 in women's, so we all have big feet.
John says his mom and his sisters are 6 foot tall. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought I was. Of course,
well,
my mom was 5'1". I have an aunt that was 4'9". Um, Sally's. I think she's 5'2".
yeah,
So I always felt tall because I was taller than my mom. Like at
yeah.
12 or 13 years old. But I don't know. Now I don't feel so. I don't feel so tall. I feel like a little shrimpo. Oh well. See, I can't get my mom's to grow any more than 3 or 4 feet.
His mom's.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I was like trying to figure out what he was trying to say. Oh my god.
I
That's
just got
funny.
that too. Like flowers, mom's. Okay, never mind. That was funny. Because at first I was like, "What? Making fun of the English guy? Nice."
Oh my gosh.
Hank, you're only 5'3".
You're just a little old thing.
I'd expected you a little taller than that.
He says the funny thing is that my house is a 500-year-old cottage.
Oh,
500
geez.
years? And the
Wow.
ceiling is 6 foot 6 inches
They got old.
tall.
Oh,
That's got to be, I mean, you got to wear a hat
that's gotta be rough.
or a helmet or something in the house just so you don't hit your head. I would think
Yeah.
that could be painful.
They got old buildings over there, boy. That's
I can't believe 500-year-old cottage. That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
He's developed a hard head.
Developed a hard head. That's my brother too.
Uh,
He has difficulties in some buildings. Yeah, he's got a duck most of the time.
that is crazy. You guys are funny. I'm sure
Huh.
Sally is she's either packing her stuff or she's asleep. I'm gonna message her. I know
Oh,
she
you
was
did a lot.
really tired. She was so tired last night.
Sally was.
Yeah. She was she she came on, oh, she was on the in the challenge, and then I think she went to bed around, I think it was 11, maybe 12. And then she came in probably about 5:30, right before the challenge was over.
Mm.
So she got a good nap in. She was going back to bed when I talked to her. So,
But did she work last night?
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was off Tuesday, but I don't know. I don't know because I think she was
Mm.
saying that she has 3 days. I think she said she had 3 days of where she has to work 5 p.m. today till to 1:30 a.m. I think that's what she said.
Oh.
5 to 1:30.
Oh.
So it's going to be pretty rough, I think.
Yeah.
But she could do it. She's
tough.
Yeah, she's tough. I hope she's not sleep packaging. That could go badly. Yeah, Sally could end up mailing herself to foreign soil. Oh my gosh. Thrifty Picker says I was 5'7" when I graduated high school in 87. Now I'm 5'10" and 3/4. People I graduated with who haven't seen me since high school were shocked. So you got that's pretty crazy that you were still growing, you know, because usually by 16, 17, you pretty much stopped growing as far as height goes. But hey, you got a little more height with them. I do not know what that John Abu Dhabi, like normal. I don't know what that is. Sorry. I have no idea. Wow. And Thrifty Picker says I was a preemie too when I was born. Wow. Well, that didn't affect your height none, apparently.
I was a preemie when I was little too.
Were you?
Yeah. I
Crazy.
actually had believe it or not, I had underdeveloped lungs.
Oh, wow.
Anxious as I am, yeah. Yeah. Definitely not wrong. Anything wrong with my lungs anymore.
She said she weighed 3 pounds, 14 ounces. Wow.
Oh, I don't know what I weighed. I was born with underdeveloped lungs. I was born premature. My mom, when she was pregnant with me, the doctor she had told her to have an abortion.
Really?
And yeah, this is why I'm against abortion. I'm not against. I'm not against. I think somebody should. It's their choice, and I would never. Look down on somebody that had one.
Uh-huh.
But I'm against it for me.
Right.
But anyways, that's political. I just wanted to clarify that though. Anyways, I think a woman should be able to make that decision herself.
Right.
Anywho, yeah, the doctor told my mom to have an abortion because me and her were not going to live through the pregnancy. And if we lived through the pregnancy, we definitely wouldn't live through the birth. And my Catholic father
Mm-hmm.
was like, we need to get a second opinion. And of
Right.
course, he was like, yes. I mean, if it's between you and the baby, of course, it's going to be you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to save you. But let's get a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a second opinion, and that doctor said, no, don't worry about it. We'll get you and baby through it. And sure enough, they did.
Wow. Well,
Thank God for second
thank
opinions.
goodness, right?
My dad was Catholic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I've told you the stories about my brothers and stuff. And so if my mom believed in abortion, me and my brothers wouldn't be here. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's why.
Well,
That's why I feel the way I do.
right. I was 10 months. My mom carried me for 10 months.
Hmm.
And I was only 7 pounds, 2 ounces, I
Oh,
think. You would have thought I'd been like a 10-pound baby when, being in there for a month longer, but I
yeah,
wasn't.
something's wrong.
Um,
They let her go a whole month afterwards.
yes, they did.
God, your poor mother. I mean, I went 2 weeks, and they 2 weeks, and they were like, "Hey,
We need to do
we
something
need to
here.
get you induced." Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, she.
not inducing me. My water broke, and both my girls were overdue.
Yeah.
2 weeks overdue.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty weird that they, you know, they let her go for so long, but that was, 1969. So,
Yeah, same age as my
but
husband.
yep.
My
29.
my
Yeah,
oldest daughter, she
you're
was
a little cook. You're a cougar.
my husband's older than me.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotcha. You must have been mistaken. You said we were the
I'm
same
only,
age.
yeah, you are. He was born in '69.
Oh, okay, good.
No, you're the same age as my husband.
Right. I'm playing
I'm
dumb.
43.
I'm playing dumb.
Oh,
I'm
I
playing
got it
dumb.
now. Sorry. I guess I'm a little dense this morning.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyways, my oldest daughter, she was 7 pounds, 2.5 ounces,
Uh-huh.
22 inches long. So she was already
Wow.
tall when she was a baby.
Yeah.
And then my youngest daughter was 9 pounds
Wow.
and 22 inches long or 21 inches long. And so yeah, I was like, I don't want to have any more babies. They keep
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
What is the next one going to be? 11-pound baby?
Oh my gosh. Can't
But
even.
I had both of them C-section, so I guess it wasn't. Yeah,
Can't even
it was
imagine.
huge, like buttermilk turkey, almost 10 pounds. And it was so nice. I mean, like a 7-pound baby is nice size, but then that 9-pound baby, that was really a nice size because then you just, she was beefy.
Right. Right. It's a little more when you have a small baby, both of mine were 6 pounds. And when you have a small baby like that, I mean, it's just
Hmm.
you feel like they're just gonna break.
Yeah,
And when you have a bigger baby with a
yeah,
little bit of meat on them, they don't feel so fragile. I mean, they're still fragile,
yeah.
but they're just not as fragile.
There's a difference.
So,
Yeah. And then she came out. It was so weird. She came out like really dark. My youngest daughter.
uh-huh,
My husband's borderline albino. He doesn't have the pink eyes or anything, but he's got really white skin.
uh-huh.
Um, so and I'm not dark either, but I am Italian. So I imagine that's what I don't know was coming through when she was born. I don't know, but anyway, she looked like she had a suntan,
Wow.
and I was like, "What the hell?" But you know, and 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 there was no funny business, but yeah, I was like, "Why is she so dark?" I thought maybe it was my eyes, but then my sister and her boyfriend were like, "Yeah, we were kind of wondering." But she started
Uh-huh,
lightening up, like within the next month. So,
uh-huh.
and then now she's. But she tans like me. But she came out so dark, it was weird.
Huh. Thrifty Picker says
Maybe
my
not
mom
white.
was 39 when she had me. The doctors had first told her she wasn't pregnant, but she was going through the change.
Oh,
Then she went back to the
surprise!
doctor. She went back to the doctor, and he was wrong. The doctor said that he was wrong. Oh, and told the doctor he was wrong that she was in fact pregnant. 6 months later, she went into premature labor with her. And Hank says my mom was in her 40s when she had me. Surprise! Oh my gosh. Sharky Mom Dill says my biggest was 11 pounds,
Holy crap!
1.8 ounces, 23 inches long.
Holy shit!
Only one. It's the only one that she went natural with. Oh my gosh. Whew, man.
Anytime somebody tells me that they're pregnant, I'm like, no matter what, take the drugs.
Yeah.
And if anybody's watching right now, don't be a hero. Just take the drugs.
Yeah.
Seriously. It is not
Yeah.
going to hurt your baby. Just take the drugs. There is
Yeah.
no sense. We are not in the olden days.
Nope.
Just take the drugs.
Yep.
Do it.
Yeah. There's
Because it's
no,
always,
yeah, there's,
everybody always turns around and says, oh, no, 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 I won't take the drugs. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I want the drugs. And then it's too late. There is a point of no return.
yeah.
So seriously, take the
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah. If you've got the opportunity to get that epidural, now used to, I agree,
Do
being a respiratory therapist, I was in on a lot of, baby deliveries and everything. And yeah, they used to give those drugs where by mouth and of course, or by IV. So that would, help with the pain and stuff. They have pretty
it.
much, that's, I mean, they do that in, you know, very serious cases or stuff, but usually they just make you, you just got to push through it. If you don't take the opportunity to get the epidural, then you're pretty much SOL.
Yeah.
Because basically what happens is you transfer those drugs to the baby, and then the baby's not breathing, or they're just lazy when they come out. They're like drugged. And so, in that case, and I've had to wake several babies up, in that situation. So it's better just to get the epidural. You're happy, the baby's happy, everybody's happy, and it's a lot easier experience.
Yeah. I
Thank
never
you.
had my natural, but I still say take the drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, I had both of mine natural.
Don't be a
So,
hero.
you know. And
They're
and
not
I
going to give
had
you anything that's going to hurt the baby.
I didn't have I didn't have epidurals with the babies. I just
Hmm.
had pain meds that they help, it basically helped with the pain, but yeah.
So
I
you can
felt
attest to
everything.
it. Yes, take the drugs.
I felt it all. So, OJ says my wife had the epidural with the baby one, and it went so well. She said, "I think I can go natural next time." Baby two was a scream fest with her nails dug into my arm for hours.
There
Wow.
you go. There it is. Take the drugs.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And my kids, they had both of my daughters, they had C-sections with all their kids. So,
Yeah, I had. And then I was talking to this one chick at work one time, and she was talking about having babies or whatever. And I said, yeah, I had both of mine C-section. She goes, oh my God, you are so lucky. I was like, why? She goes, because you didn't have to go through natural childbirth. And I was like, no, but I had surgery. I was cut from ear to ear, and I had 6 weeks of healing time or whatever it is, or 8 weeks or
right,
whatever it is. Which my
right.
there was actually a year of healing time because my incision ended up opening up again because I had a cyst, and I ended up having to have surgery again
Oh my gosh.
for it. But anyway,
Phew.
um, but yeah, I was like, what do you mean I'm lucky? Like, you
And
can't you can't lift anything heavier than your baby for you know.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing with my daughters, which I wasn't on board with, but they had their own business. They had their own daycare. And so my youngest daughter, she had a baby first, and she came back to work. I think she had him on a Thursday, and she was back to work on, I think it was Tuesday. The following Tuesday, she came back to work, and she had a C-section.
Mm-hmm.
But they had their own business, so there wasn't an opportunity for, you know, and they couldn't just have one person, there. They had to have both people there. It wasn't a, you know, extensively strenuous job. Basically, they just had to make sure that the kids were taken care of, you know. But yeah, I don't know how they did it. And then my other daughter did the same thing. I think she took off a week, but and I was there basically to uh, stand in for her. But yeah, these girls, they just went right back to work,
Mm.
which is amazing. I don't know how they did it. But I guess, when you got to do it, you got to do it, and there's just no way to get away from it,
Yeah.
especially when you have your own business.
And that is true. Beth said, I think that is a decision that needs to be made between a woman, her husband, and her doctor. Of course it is. Still take the drugs. No. I just feel bad for these women who will say, no, 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 I want to do it natural. And then they're like, oh my God, I wish I would have taken the drugs. Yeah, it is, of course, all the way, always up to the person.
Sure, sure. Jennifer says mine was horrible with my first. The doctors couldn't get the epidural in. Took a second doctor, and then I was on max dosage and was still feeling everything over 24 hours of labor. Wow.
Huh. Oh, thanks.
Crazy.
I had 4 days of hard back labor with my youngest daughter.
Yeah. I think I had
That
some
was
back labor with mine, and
very good.
that's like, I don't know. I would say back labor is probably the worst, but that's just my
He
feeling on
kept
it.
he kept sending me home, and finally the last day I said, I went in there, I said, you know what, I can't take it. This baby's coming out today, one way or another. I was like, I am not leaving this hospital without a baby. I mean, come on, she's already 2 weeks overdue. Do
Yeah,
something here.
yeah. Let's make it
She's
happen.
done. In there, she's done.
Yeah,
Child labor wasn't that bad for
absolutely.
me. Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
like 5 kids. OJ does.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Poor wife.
So, Nikki, did
We
you
have a
have any
friend.
sales this weekend?
Huh? What?
I said, did you have any sales this weekend?
I had a couple.
That's
Nothing.
good.
Nothing to write home about.
Yeah. Better than none, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully I'll keep listing all week, and by next weekend I'll have 50.
50 going out?
Yeah.
I've never, I think my highest is 26 for a
Mm.
weekend. So,
Yeah,
so
I've had,
Jennifer,
I think my biggest weekend was, I had a weekend with 64 one time.
wow. But that was fun. Shipping.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to do it myself. That was when I decided to go to 2-day handling time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that would make you
And with me
change
and
that.
my stupid system, I had some in the garage, I had some in the storage shed, some in that storage shed,
Whew.
nice, neat, and tidy everywhere, in one spot. But I still had to go over town to get it.
Right. I don't like it that way. I'm gonna go back.
And I think that's the only weekend I remember was 64 packages. So that must have been my highest.
Uh,
But I've had 20 in a day.
That's really
20,
good.
25 in a day.
Yeah. That's excellent.
No, not recently, but
I'm still working towards that. I'm still working up to that point. And kind of I mean the way that I look at it is, I'm a one-man band, so, you
yeah,
know, um could I handle doing, selling? I mean, I'd be happy as heck, but
mhm,
could I do that every day, day in, day out, 20, I'd have
yeah.
to change something. I'd have to change the way that I do things.
Well,
Um,
you'd have to. Well, that's when you grab it and ship it right away. Package it right away. Get it.
right,
You do them all at once.
right. And really, and that's something that I'm kind of looking at, even right now. I'm not doing, big numbers or anything, but when I'm trying to do shipping the next day because I couldn't do my shipping yesterday because I have my mail call video.
Yeah,
And so I wait for everything, and then of course, that gets me into trouble. Not really
yeah.
trouble, but it just kind of gets me off kilter, basically. All because of that video.
Sharky Mom Deal needs an opinion. Thinking about getting softbox kit. How much do you believe lighting impacts sales? My picks aren't bad, but not great. I think you'll look more professional if they look better.
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, I've sold things with crappy pictures and I've sold things with really good pictures. But I believe in the more light, the better. I think if you got a nice, crisp, clear picture, more chance of them wrong. It gives them a better view of the item,
Uh-huh.
and better pictures usually will mean less returns.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think you have to, it's like the way that I think of it is, you look at these catalogs, these mail order catalogs and stuff like that, which you're probably
Mhm.
thinking, well, that don't make any sense. But, they're selling something, you're not going into a store, you're not filling the fabric, um, you're not looking at it with your eyes, the actual product. So
Yeah,
basically you have to bring that product to the person, and
yeah,
you have to, describe it with a picture, you know, the right color, that's coming through the camera, making sure that that's all, kosher.
hmm,
And you can do that with your lighting and your background and your backlight. All that matters.
yeah,
And if somebody wants, like and it seems minute to me, but I had this one gal, she ordered a shirt, and it to me the colors looked purple, but to her the color looked blue.
yeah,
Well, it's kind of a person's perception, on what that color
yeah.
is. But so you try to get that, the right color so the person knows exactly what they want.
So that's the thing
Um,
between our words in the description and our pictures. That is, yeah, we want them to feel like they're there getting that, looking at that item.
right.
And with brighter, better pictures, you know, it gives somebody more confidence to buy your item. Yes, I've sold things with crappy photos,
Hmm.
things that like parts and stuff that weren't really that important what they look like. Um, that's one thing I like about selling parts and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, it is. It's a big issue, I think. And a lighting kit is actually a really good thing to invest in your business as soon as you can.
Yep. I actually have two lighting kits. So I have the umbrellas that are up top, and then I actually have the I guess they're soft boxes that are that I have also. And usually when I use my lighting, I use all 4
Mm-hmm.
lamps. So,
And one nice thing about the lighting kit is if you have one of those tents,
uh-huh.
no matter what you're going to get in the photo, you're only going to get that tent in the background. You know how many
Right.
times I thought, oh, I've got my background, my white background. Oh, I accidentally took a picture of the edge or something. You know, I mean, at least if you have that tent, that's all you're taking pictures of is that tent, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
So
But I just have,
that helps too.
you know, you can get creative with it too, as far as the way that you want your umbrellas, or the way that you want your lighting. I mean, you can definitely get um
Mhm.
creative with that. Um,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Sorry, I'm trying to do my shipping.
I
Um,
do recommend a white background though. I really don't care for all those other backgrounds. I mean,
right.
yeah, sometimes things look nice in those other backgrounds, but sometimes, because I've seen like and I'm not picking on anybody, but I've seen like some people's backgrounds where it's just too busy for some of the stuff that they put on there.
Right.
Sometimes like if you're taking pictures of plain old blue jeans, yeah, they look fine with that brick background or whatever.
Mhm.
An else that's too busy or whatever, and they try to use that back, it looks terrible, I think.
Yeah.
So I like the white background, honestly. And most of the time I don't even use my tent. I like the trifold boards. Well, my husband usually gets me these white slip sheets from pallets,
Mhm.
which are very big, and those are nice for taking pictures with. But also, if you can't get those trifold, I think they're trifold. Anyways, they fold into themselves. It's
Mhm.
a it's a cardboard piece. They're for photos. You make picture boards out of them,
Okay.
and the ends fold in. And I use that like the one end. I fold that backwards, so that's not even in the picture. But then the bottom fold is my bottom. Back is the back.
Right.
And I get those at the dollar store.
Hmm.
What's a buck? Take nice pictures. As a matter of fact, I took my daughter's graduation pictures with my iPhone one year.
Really?
It was like the iPhone 4, I think it was, or
Mhm.
I did all my daughter. I was taking them with my with my camera, the line camera, nice camera, and then I was taking them with my iPhone also, so that I could upload some to so people could see them.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, these are actually turning out better on the iPhone. So I took them all with the iPhone.
Wow.
Um, I have the Samsung Galaxy Note now, and I love that. That takes good pictures too.
Yeah. I like the note.
Yeah. Time I was in the car and Dusty was like, "Wow, your phone has a really good camera on it." He's like, "Wow, I can really see a lot of stuff." Yeah.
Well, the phones these days, they definitely have, they're so upgraded and they're so good.
Yeah.
Um,
And my thing is it's so much more efficient. If you got a decent phone to take pictures with, much more efficient to take it with the phone and upload them than it is to sit and wait for your camera to upload to the computer and then do your pictures that way, I think.
yeah.
But whatever works for you, you know. Yeah, you can write it off on your business. That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. That's big enough.
Yeah, I have the Note 5 also, and one of these days I'm going to get the Note 8. Me to get it, but after I just got a new tablet, I got that new Samsung Galaxy View tablet, 18-inch tablet, and then I got a new computer now, so I kind of feel like I shouldn't get something else, you know?
Yeah, Hank, that's true. You really got to do what works for you. And sometimes that means sinking money and trying something only to find out it
Yeah.
doesn't work for you or it's not all you need. It just depends. Um,
And, you know, I mean, you don't have to invest in a big lighting kit either.
no.
I mean, you can just go down to Menards and get some of the, well, I call them chicken lights, but
Mhm.
because that's what we used them for before. But they're work lights. They're those ones with the silver guard on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a bunch of those. They clamp on wherever you want. You can adjust them. You can go down and get those for, I don't know, they're like $5 or $6 a piece. They're not that expensive. I mean, you
Yeah.
can do that, you know.
I need to I need to
She
look
said
at
she
that.
splurged for a new printer. I got my brother printer at Walmart for like $116 or something cheap.
Right. And then there's a lot of people that get the printers from auctions, you know. I've heard a lot of people getting them from auctions that they've gone to. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that too.
But I mean, everybody's jumped on the bandwagon with that Amazon. You know, they needed those Zebra printers and all these fancy stuff for their Amazon business. Well, you don't need all that for an eBay business. You
No.
can just get a regular laser. Well, I prefer the laser printer because you can obviously get more out of the ink. But
Right.
you can buy sticky labels that are 2 on a sheet and put them in just like regular paper. You can use it on your inkjet or your laser printer.
Yeah.
The labels you can just and they're cheap on Amazon.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
got
get like
the
I don't know over 1,000 labels or something for like 20 some bucks.
yeah.
And figured it out. It ends up like 2 point something cents per label or something I use.
Okay. Um, let's see. Yeah, you can use the regular lights, heating clamps on maybe put better bulbs in them if you're worried. Um,
Yep. Hank said she uses the 2 labels per sheet. I print one, then flip it around. Now, what I do is I use those and I'll put them in my printer, and I keep a little box like one of those boxes that you get reams of paper in,
mhm.
and I keep that next to my printer. And when I print out a label and I got that other half sheet, I just put it in that box. Then when my labels run out of the tray, then I just flip them around and put them back in. So I'm
Oh,
not
there
doing
you
it
go.
like right at that moment,
That's a good
not
idea.
wasting time putting them around right away.
Right.
And then they just print out the whole tray of those, and then I will put new ones in.
Uh-huh. That's a good idea. That's an efficient way to do that.
Yeah.
And I got the, I did splurge and I bought the Dymo, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Um, especially when you're shipping. When I was shipping a lot, shipping out 7 or 8, 9 items a day. I mean that starts. I mean, you're using a lot of ink when you're just using the inkjet, and
Hmm.
that's what I used for a good year and a half while I was doing this. So um, to go to something that's more efficient and um, better on the what do you call it, on the, you don't have to buy ink. It's just basically you just buy your labels, and I bought, I don't even know how many. I think it was 12 rolls, and I don't even know how. I think it was $30 or something like that for 12
Mm.
rolls. So that's going to last me a long time. You know.
Yeah.
Um, Beth says I wouldn't do this if I didn't have my Dymo. I understand. And Valerie says I use the Rolo printer, and she loves it.
Well, that's your preference. I'm just saying that if you can't afford to splurge on a Dymo, you can get a
Right,
cheaper laser printer and it'll work.
right. You do what
Because
you
my
can
my laser printer works good.
afford. Doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy all this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but I couldn't keep enough ink in in my printer, even though I found a really cheap way to buy the ink on eBay. They had just the generic
Yeah.
um, little cartridges that they didn't cost that much. I could get them for like $5 a piece. That, for me, that was cheap, but
Yeah.
it was more of you know an inconvenience. And at the time, I was able to splurge a little bit and you know invest
Well,
in my business. So,
I have a laser printer too.
hmm
You know, I just don't have a Dymo.
right,
I have a brother laser printer.
right,
But then, see, I can use that for other things too, which I use it a lot for other things too. So
hmm and that's kind of the bad thing about. I'm sure you can do it, but like I sell on Poshmark and I sell on Trugether, and those labels I can't print out on my Dymo.
yeah.
I have to print them out on my regular printer. But because they don't happen very often, you know, I can I can handle that. So, sorry guys, just trying to get my old shipping done. What I think I need to do, and I don't know if I probably just need to work it into my schedule, is like on Sundays I need to just do if I want to get all my shipping done on Sundays, I just need to do the video on
Mhm.
Sunday. And that way I'm not doing this on Monday morning.
Yeah. Or you can pack your stuff up and just show screenshots for what you sold.
Right. Yeah, I could do that too.
You know.
Yeah. But I gotta find another way to do this
Yeah.
more efficient, because I don't like to. I like to give you guys the attention. You know, I don't want to be working while we're doing the show. I want to be able to, give attention to whoever's watching and, answer the questions and
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can do that when I'm shipping. But I know you guys understand.
Yeah, we do. And I'm kind of the one that I like to ship as soon as I get the order, if possible, if I don't have to go search for it. But
Right.
and then Nissa said something about packaging it before you sell it. She didn't like that idea because what if you have to answer a question? To do, I don't do it. I'm not as diligent as I used to be about that, but I used to package stuff right away when I list it. But I would leave the box open because in case you had to answer a question or if you had to combine shipping. So I would just package the box and just leave them open so that you can do whatever you need to do.
Right.
They were all ready to go. And I've actually thought of doing that again just to be more, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I describe my stuff. I mean, I measure everything. I mean, within reason, of course. But I mean, I answer every question possible in that listing. So I don't usually get too many questions about my stuff.
Right.
I have to go out and dig it out.
But
Not that
usually,
my descriptions aren't long either, but I just in the pull down menus and stuff like that, I make sure to utilize that stuff and answer all the questions before.
right. Usually what happens to me is, I do a lot of measurements. Well, I do 3 measurements usually. And so usually it's the measurement that I didn't do that they want. So, if I didn't do the collar to the for the sleeve, that's usually what they're going to want. So that's just the way it's just the way that it works.
And I'm not a clothing seller, so I don't know if you guys get more questions than I do on stuff, but
I don't get a whole lot of questions because I usually do do have the measurements, and if I do, a lot of times the measurements in there, they just haven't looked in the listing to far enough down to get the measurements.
Yeah.
That's usually probably the majority of the issue that I have. So basically, I just go through my phone, find the listing, take a screenshot of it, send them the picture of the screenshot along with the and I just put, here you go, thanks, or something like that, and they're like, oh, okay, that was quick. So,
yeah.
I mean, I could make them feel like a jerk and say, well, here you are, dumbass, but I don't want to do that. All you had to do was go scroll down a little bit more and you would have found it. But
yeah,
I would never do that.
No, I don't usually do that either because I don't want them to think, well, this person's a bitch.
I don't need any more people saying that, so don't want to give them that any ideas. Okay.
I've held shipments before. Valerie has one that somebody wants to hold till the 15th. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt, but I've done it before, but I haven't done it since eBay's cracked down on shipping. But I suppose if it's in the messages, I suppose you could have eBay remove a ding for that if they've asked you to do it. If the customer asks you
Probably.
to do it, I suppose you could call them and get that removed. But
Probably. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. So I got a, what was it? A return. Somebody put in for a return. So the pants that they ordered, the size on the tag was 32 by 32, waist 32, length 32. Everything was good with that. But when the person received them, and in the measurements, because I do a waist measurement flat, so the waist measurement flat was 30. So it wasn't actually 32, it was 30. And that is in the listing. So they got them, they said, well, I don't wear a size 30, I wear a size 32. I want to return them. So I haven't accepted it yet because they want me to pay the shipping also. But because the measurements are in the listing, I shouldn't have to pay for that. Right?
I don't think so.
So I was going to call eBay today and ask them about that because I shouldn't have to pay the shipping on that. Because I like, and on a lot of clothing, you get the item from the store, you wash it, it shrinks. It's not going to be the same size as the label normally.
I thought if you had the measurements in there, then it was fine.
That's what I was thinking.
Where did she see the 32 inches in your listing? Did you have the size as 32, 32?
Uh-huh. Um, that was in the title, to be truthful. So I don't know if I should have maybe put something in the title that says states 32 waist, but measures 30. I probably should have done that. And, if worse comes to worse and I need to, give them a
I would just
refund
accept
for
the
that.
return
But
if you had 32 in your child title, she said.
I just feel like if it's in the listing, if it's in the measurements, then, but, they may not even read the measurements. They may have just read the first part of it. So,
Sharky Mom Deal says, no, don't pay, no return.
okay, I would accept that. Yeah.
Me, I have no questions asked returns.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to get into clothing. Is not. You guys have a lot of returns. It seems like.
I don't have a whole lot. I would say for me, it's probably 1 to 2 a month.
Is
that a lot?
I can count on one hand how many returns I've had in the last year.
Right.
If I get.
Yeah.
But now that I told you that, now I'm going to get a bunch of returns.
Yeah. Well,
that's like you can never rely on buyers reading the descriptions. Yeah, no kidding, right?
but I think, and there has, if I am in the wrong, definitely, I will always, I will go with that, and I would just, refund their money. I'm not big on, no, I'm not doing it. You're a scammer. I'm not into all that.
Yeah.
But there are some things that I feel like, I should not be responsible for. They should, to me, they should look through the description and they should have read that. They should have, but I don't know. I think I still will call eBay and see what their feel is on that, and then just kind of go from there. But let's see.
$2 a month would drive me bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's really not that bad. It's really is
Yeah.
in the title. It's really, I mean, and a lot of times what I'll do is I will, if it's a situation where either I screwed up, there's a hole that I missed or something like that, I'll just refund them. Keep the item, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's not usually not a big deal. So
Well, I don't know for sure, but I've always heard that if the measurements are in the description, you don't have to pay the return. But I don't know for a fact. I've just heard that. So
right. Yeah. Well, I'll call eBay and see what they suggest, and then I'll go with that.
what kind of stuff do you sell, Beth? I thought you were a clothing seller. Do you do like collectibles and stuff, or what do you do? I always thought she was a clothing seller for some reason.
No, I think she does a lot of hard goods.
Does she?
Uh-huh.
Of course, I think that of most people nowadays because there's so many clothing sellers out there. It seems like everybody
Yeah.
sells clothing. Sometimes I put word modified in title. I also heard a lot of clothing sellers. She sells hard goods. Only clothing I sell if vintage. Oh, okay. Um, a lot of people I know that sell clothing, I've heard put it in the what do you call it? Just
Item
not the description, but
specifics,
the item specific, not the item specifics, but where the used or new,
like the
and then
condition.
condition notes. Condition notes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people put the measurements in theirs because it's showing right on the screen
Right.
at the item. It's showing right there.
Well,
They don't
that
have
makes
to move
sense.
their mouse or nothing to see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think somebody said eBay recommends that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the condition note.
Okay.
I was losing I can't think of my words this morning.
You need to get a
Words, but I
shower
can't
and
think of them.
loosen everything up real quick.
You know, that's the thing. My whole life, I have always gotten up out of bed, in the shower.
Right.
No, nothing in between. Out of bed, in the shower. Well, you know what comes in between in bed and then the shower, but we don't want to talk about that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I know. But this last couple of months, I haven't been taking my shower till like noon, 1 o'clock, unless I have to go somewhere.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, I just sit here and don't take take a shower. That's why I got my camera off most of the time, because my hair's all, I look like an 80s rock star, you know. With my hair. So I've gotten so dang lazy. So yeah, I got to get back into that. Because I don't feel like myself if I don't take a shower. I feel tired and groggy until I take my shower, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I got to get back into that. Get up, take a shower. Angry with myself. Forgot to schedule a pickup last night. Now I got to go to town. Shower first thing. I know. It is. It's like rejuvenating. And then as soon as, even like if I right after the show, if I go in the shower, it'll be like, oh my God, why did I wait so long to take a shower? This feels so good, you know?
Yeah.
Problem with me right now is and I get groggy and tired, and I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like a sloppy mess, you know? Don't feel like doing anything. I feel like a slug.
A slug. Okay. I'm still shipping. Here I am.
That's all right. That
guess,
means you're making money.
man. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably call eBay on it, see what they suggest, and then just go from there. And I really, truthfully, I think two, with clothing especially, I think 2 a month is actually pretty good. I would say.
Yeah.
Just because, you do have to have all the, you have to describe the item to the person. So, you have to have all that information there so they know exactly what they're getting and, if it's going to fit. So.
Yep.
Okay. Wonder where Todd's at this morning. Or Tara, or...
Nobody's here. I'll be on bums this morning.
The heck? Wake up! Get you some coffee going.
Yeah.
11.
Well, Tara's probably shipping. She's probably helping Jim ship.
Yeah.
Didn't she say they
I think
like 50 things this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably what she's doing this morning.
Oh, Todd went to pick up his auction win.
Oh. Okay. I think this is going to be good for now, and I'll do the rest later. Get the majority of them.
Don't do
I've
it.
got to go to
Get
the
them
store
done.
anyway, so I'll just go ahead and... Well, I don't want to, like, do that to the show. You mind if I run outside real quick, take these out?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nikki?
Or no, I don't mind.
Okay.
Whatever.
I was like, Okay. Is she okay? Is it not okay? I'll
No,
be
it's
right
not
back.
okay. Stay here. I can't. I can't handle myself. You don't know what I'll do to your channel while you're gone. So what else? People talk to me in the chat here, so I got something to talk about. Actually, for once, I'm in lost for words. My dogs are being lazy. They're not helping motivate me. They're over laying on the couch. Hi, Sherry. I don't know if you heard me, Turtle Trader. I said hi to you earlier. My dogs are laying on the couch, just snoozing away. Must be nice to be a dog. Dog's life, just sit there and be scratched all day and fed. You know, no worries in the world. I can't get over that story that you told Nikki about the doctor telling your mom to abort. That is just wild. Yeah, that was back in the day when they didn't think that they could take care of anything. I am going to list today. As soon as the show's over, I'm gonna go take a shower and I'm gonna go outside and get stuff out of the van and list it. Because the other day when my husband was digging through the van looking for snow pants, yelling at me, well, not yelling at me, but telling me how crazy I am for all the stuff I have in the van, I saw a lot of cool stuff to list, so I'm gonna go get. I know, right? Mine are the same way, lazy buggers, never doing their jobs, just watching me list, ship, clean. Make sure you feed me. All they got to worry about is whether they're gonna get fed that day. Usually they're outside right now, running around. Usually, I guess they wanted to sleep in this morning. They were out once already this morning, but they just been sleeping away. Yeah, that was crazy that the doctor told my mom to abort me. I honestly felt that my mom would die if she kept me. Yeah, thank God for my Catholic father.
He saved you.
He did. I sold a movie projector that is in the worst possible spot, back corner of my storage room that I can barely walk into. This is going to be fun. Oh yeah, I hate when that happens. Snatching up any cut carrots. You no wonder you're a daddy's girl. I am a daddy's girl. I am. Yeah. Yeah, my mom, she was just devastated with the news, and my dad's like, just calm down. We're gonna go see a different doctor.
That's crazy.
Thank God they picked the right doctor.
Yeah. And I think, I think doctors back then, because they told my mom that she would never have kids, and she had 4.
Yeah.
And of course she was, devastated because she, wasn't going to be able to have any more kids. So she thought, and,
Yeah.
I don't know if they just thought, well, we'll just let God or, whatever take care of it, then, and we'll just handle it, then I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't know as much back then. The medical field wasn't as advanced as it is today.
No.
That was back when, I remember when I was a kid, some stuff that you would like be in the hospital for days for that are like no big deal now. Even just from the time when my youngest daughter, when she was a baby, she had RSV,
Uh-huh.
and this was in '97. Not that long ago, but 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 10 years. Wait a minute. No, she's 20 years ago. Sorry, brain fart. Anyways, this was 20 years ago. Now I talked to somebody about a year ago, and his daughter had RSV. I was like, oh my God, is she okay? He's like, yeah, she's fine. They sent her home with some pills and blah, 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 and some nebulizer, and she's fine. I was like, oh my God, they've really changed. You know, my daughter,
Yeah.
when she was in the hospital for like 10 days, had to be in a tent and everything else. And that was just in 97, you know?
Yeah.
I think
So,
insurance companies have really limited how many days they approve you staying in a hospital, though, too.
yeah.
Well, that's true. That does make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I had.
But I mean, RSV, that was back when RSV first was a real thing. You know, I mean, I'm sure they had it before, but that was when they were like, really, it was a really big thing. And yeah, I mean, they were like, they had us scared, like our daughter could die
Right. Right.
from it. I mean, they were like, this baby has RSV. We got to get her admitted right away, get her in a tent, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they were like freaking out. I mean, they were like in ER mode.
Yeah.
You know, when we brought our daughter in and they figured out she had RSV, they were like in hurry up mode and stuff. So it was like,
Well, and back then
yeah.
they didn't know a whole lot about this RSV, but I mean it has come
Yeah.
it's come very far because they
Yeah.
you know, it was all about give treatments and everything. It wasn't even it's not even about it's just about keeping the airway clear.
Yeah.
That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
No, like I
Yeah.
said, my friend, you know, his daughter had it about a year ago, and yeah, he was like, oh, it's no big, because I was like, oh my God, is she okay?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, of course she's okay. They just sent us home with some pills and a nebulizer. You know, like, really? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember that was a big thing when my daughter had it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice, Tara.
Well, hi. How are you?
All right.
I figured you were helping Jim tip.
Yeah, shoving a donut in my pie hole. I haven't done nothing.
You haven't? We figured
I
you
did
were.
go to the bank and pay my mortgage, so that was cool.
Well, yeah. We figured you were. Jim had you hot working.
I told him I refuse to help him pack. He's like, I said that we're laying in bed last night. I'm like, I'm not helping you pack tomorrow. I'm just going to list because I just want to keep listing. He's like, what do you mean you're not going to help me pack? Oh, you can pack it yourself. Yeah, probably today I'll sell probably today I won't sell anything. You know what I mean? I always wish it'd be just kind of the same across the board. I don't like it when you got like a big spike. Because then like today you'll sell like $80 worth and that'll be like, oh, let down, you know.
Yeah. But when I'd have big weekends like that, usually then my week would be kind of slowish.
Yeah.
But Tuesdays and Thursdays were always big days for me, no matter what.
It seems like Thanksgiving weekend, if you got the inventory up, you're gonna do all right on Thanksgiving weekend. It is a good selling weekend, you know, and I don't like being all into like the Black Friday hype and stuff, but I will say it is typically a very good selling weekend.
Well, even if people don't go out for Black Friday, the news about Black Friday and everything, it puts people in the shopping mood, in Christmas mode. And that's why I was telling everybody last week, just wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming, you know. Then all of a sudden everybody this weekend's like, oh my God, I got sales. Yay. You know?
I think
just wait for it. It's coming.
I think too is like people are sitting at home Thanksgiving. They don't have to work Friday. And then it's like, oh, we're bored. What do we do? And then they start going to the computer and maybe buying some crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, and almost any day where a lot of people have off, like Labor Day or any of those kinds of holidays, I usually see a spike in sales.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Nikki, I was going to ask you, do you have anybody for your lister ditch show? Are you going to do your drive-by or
No,
however? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't have anybody. Nobody's asked to be on there.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I just feel like an asshole going and asking people, and then if they're like, no, so I'm like, just come to me. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't think you're important enough to be on my show if I don't ask you, but I really honestly don't know who would want to do it. So if you want to, ask me because you're more than welcome. Why? Do you need a list or ditch it show?
Yeah. Well, I got all those. I got all of those totes of stuff that I brought in from the garage, and I'm sure there's going to be. Well, I've already got like a tote that I've put a bunch of stuff in. So, yeah.
Okay.
So if you'll have me.
Jim hasn't gotten Tara's room, gotten her stuff in, so.
I know. Well, I would do it from out there, but I got internet out there. And I know, like, because it's a metal building, if I could take my laptop right to the outside of the building and have a connection. But if I try to go in the building, then I lose my connection to it. But I suppose I could bring like 20 items inside or something.
Maybe
And
we
he's
can wait till the other ones up.
gets all freaked out. He's like, because we have like some we don't have anything bad. We have some taxidermy in there. And he's like, no, I don't want, because some of it is some older taxidermy that's maybe like, I don't have the paperwork on it or whatever.
Right.
No, I don't blame you.
So he's always paranoid about like the DNR guy up here, who in our area, he's kind of a hard ass. So
you never know.
That's understandable.
He doesn't want it getting out.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. This guy I know finds a bear skull on the side of the road. He works for the highway department. The bear got hit by a car, died in the ditch or whatever. Finds his bear skull, so he picks it up and brings it home. He goes, hypothetically, let's say I found a bear skull. Am I allowed to keep it? No. Oh no, you got to turn that in. No, you have that without a tag. No,
he
you
doesn't
can...
even start with that. He starts with where's the bear skull.
Oh, where's the bear skull? Yeah.
He won't answer any questions. Just like, where's the bear skull? He doesn't know this hypothetical. No, where is the bear skull? He gets super shit about it.
Finally, the guy tells him, I found it alongside the road. And then what happened?
He had him bring it in, and he had to buy a bear tag, and they did up the paperwork for him so he could have it legally. It cost like $50.
Oh, really?
But they didn't get fined or whatever. But that was only, and he said, like, I did you a favor because if you wouldn't have come clean, I would have busted you for this and the other thing. The other thing could be, tell him about the damn bear skull.
Yeah, keep your mouth zipped.
Yeah.
Don't bring cameras into the room where you have the bear skull.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so if I could figure out how to have internet out there, I'd just do it from there because I could give you as much stuff to look at as y'all wanted to. But I could shift the stuff that, just put it off camera or whatever. I don't know. I'll have Jim look into it. I got a mounted horse out there. It's an old antique, and there's been ones like similar on Antique Roadshow. It's a horse hide mounted on a rocking horse, and it's probably about to the tip of its ears. It's probably almost 5 foot tall. It's kind of cool, and it's got this old 1950s like pony saddle on it and everything, and bridle. Like they used to have them where they'd have like little studs on them. I call them kind of like parade style, but it's real 50s looking. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Jim got it when he was a little boy, and it's actually it's kind of neat.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. He got it. He used to live in Chicago when he was a little boy. They lived in the Ambassador House, which was penthouses at the time. But his dad was the building supervisor, so they lived upstairs, way up, in these apartments up there. And it was some rich guy that did them, this high-end taxidermy stuff, and he gave it to Jim when Jim was like, how old are you? Like 4, maybe 3 or 4. They gave it to him for Christmas one year.
Wow.
It's safari animals. He did like lions for museums and stuff like that. Like he did an elephant for a field museum.
Huh.
He lived in our building in Chicago. The room across, the apartment across from him, that croc guy from McDonald's, his widow lived in the apartment across the hallway, and we lived at the other end because my dad was the building engineer, so he had to live in the building. So we lived with all these, multimillionaires or whatever. And it's my dad; he's in his 20s. He's just starting out, with a wife and a kid. But everyone around, like Wrigley, I don't know if it was at that building or the other building my dad worked at, but Wrigley was in one of the buildings too. I remember his car. He had a Cadillac. It was the color of whatever, the spearmint or what, the green gum wrapper. Yeah, his Cadillac custom painted to that color.
Wow, that's cool.
I got to pet Hugh Hefner's St. Bernard because we were right on State Street. So we're at the mansion's kitty corner across the street. So Hugh Hefner knew my mom because he knew my dad. Because if he had a problem with the building, they called my dad over there to help his engineer. So he knew my dad, so he knew my mom too. He'd stop on the sidewalk, talk to my mom, and I would pet his St. Bernard.
Aww.
He moved away when I was like 5, so I had very foggy memories of this stuff, but it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Hey, Gal Cash was talking about arrowheads. I don't know if maybe artifacts are protected, but we used to be farmers down in Milwaukee County, just outside of Milwaukee in a place called Oak Creek. Anywho, when they'd plow the fields, because we were by the Root River, we would find all these like flint arrowheads and spear tips and everything, which I'd be like, oh, okay, well, who cares? They're Indian arrowheads. But I mean, now I think back of it, because there was a lot of them. I mean, it's like, and they're thousands of years old. I mean, they're like prehistoric native people's arrowheads. They'll all be carved out of like flint rock and these big long spear tips and stuff like that.
Crazy. I know there's a Wolf River that runs through this area, and I know that there's a lot of people that go down there and hunt for arrowheads.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd just be working the ground up and plowing or whatever, and then some of them would work it up to the surface. We got this other thing, which I have arrowheads too. It's a big, like, hollowed out rock, but then they found the other rock that matches it, and I don't know if they used it for like grinding like cornmeal or something. I have no idea, but it's like two rocks that go together for like grinding stuff or whatever.
Wow. Huh. That's pretty cool. You find a lot of interesting things when you go out into like rivers and just regular old land. You can find a lot of good stuff. Yeah. You're just patient.
Where's Sally today?
I think she's asleep.
Oh, well, she's
pretty tired.
I think she, because she has to get up today at 4. She has to be at work at 5 p.m. today. They changed her. She's got to cover the schedule for somebody else, and so she's got to work from 5 to 1:30 tonight.
Where's our Todd? I hope I didn't tease him too much yesterday, and now he's all pissy.
Scare him off. No, I think he went to pick up his auctions.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did say that. Okay. I was worried maybe I teased him too much.
I forgot that too.
I don't think Todd's money developed to the point where
okay, well, that's not a very nice thing to say, but I don't want to tease him too much.
You probably went right over.
I got worried about it. I might have teased him too much.
He can handle it.
I think he's got kind of. I mean, he used to work in the teaching profession with teenagers, and I think he's got. Yeah, I think he'd be all right.
Yeah, if it wasn't for kids, I would teach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I won't drive a school bus either.
Yeah, and actually, Jim, we had to go to this parent teachers thing, so we're having a meeting about our son, and they go, I'm going to tell you an interesting question that your son asked, could my dad substitute teacher here at the school? They're like, well, I don't know. And the funny thing is, like, how many credits do you need to be a
I need
teacher?
one more semester. Well,
He needs like
you
one
need
more
a student
semester, and he
teacher.
could be a teacher then.
I would have been able to fit student teaching and the credits I needed to, because it's a. I mean, you got the bachelor's degree, and then you just got to get the teacher certification, which is easy.
Right.
But you do have to do an internship. I think it's to make sure you're not a nut.
Yeah.
Well, like you can get along with kids too. I'm sure that helps.
He really likes his own kids.
So your son was trying to get you a job.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't work for other people for money. Not my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, Mabel, you're such a little lover this morning. Try getting my shirt.
Well, she was in the garbage in the back of the truck.
You in the garbage? You know that.
Yeah, they bring home this garbage from deer camp, from the cabin up there. Well, little tiny Mabel can jump right up in the back of my pickup truck and rip up garbage. She was standing on top of this, like on top of these garbage bags. She looked like a crazy junkyard dog up there.
Yeah, it's all garbage bags and propane tanks.
Yeah. I didn't take her long to learn that.
If I'm lucky, the mailman won't come until 11, and I can get them all done. Yeah, I got to find a better system for this. It's just not working for me. But yeah, I sold that Pretty Princess game, and then I sold that Polaroid just right after that.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, well, a day late and $1 short, but
Yeah.
at least I sold it. Can't complain about that.
Hey, you still win because you listed it and you sold it, so you still
Heck
get the
yeah.
money for it. So
Heck yeah.
It's all money.
That's right.
It all spends the same.
Very true.
I know. I was on the barn cleaning stalls quick, and then Jim's like, "Oh yeah, we made a couple sales." I gotta check if it's anything I listed in. It was that silly crucifix. I'm like, oh, because Jessica had it for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought she could do it.
Yeah, we actually had a really good crew. I mean, it was, what was it, like 20 people, I think?
Yeah. And then with the $2 entry fee, I mean, it made it where it was a pretty good pot.
Absolutely.
I think that's too much money for people for the entry fee. It's just it does. Well, no, I mean, it's $1. But I mean, no, I'm just saying it's because then when y'all win, when somebody wins, I mean, then it's a little bit of a, it's a little bit nicer pot. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I think people like that.
Ask people that enter it or whatever, but I mean, because if it's $1 and you have 20 people, then the pot's only $20. But with $2, at least it's 40. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it keep kind of building then if you draw more people in and stuff.
Yep. And like John said, he said that was definitely, even though I didn't win, it was definitely worth $2 because he said, I got a lot of stuff listed that I wouldn't have listed on a regular day.
Yeah, you're gonna win either way.
Yeah, it's fun, and you're gonna sell the stuff. If you don't sell it that day, you're gonna sell it during the week or down the road. So, anyway, and what? If you do it enough, if you do it every Sunday or whatever it is, you're gonna end up winning eventually. You're gonna end up winning or splitting the pot. It's just a numbers game. You're gonna.
If Todd would have sold that game. Oh, is he? So Todd's not around, okay?
No, he's doing auction.
We'll talk about it. Todd would have flipped that game. Actually, if you would have offset what he lost on the game with what he would have gained in winning the contest, he should have done it.
Yeah.
Music not bad here.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
he was down. He's like, well, I don't want to cheat because I don't want to accept an offer. Well, you can accept offers.
Yeah, it's not really cheating.
You can accept an offer, and you can,
You can sell. It isn't the amount you sell something for. You could sell something for $3 and still win the $60-some
right.
pot, you know what I mean? Because it isn't
Right.
who sells the most in money; it's who sells the most items.
Right.
Yeah, but if you accept an offer that you normally wouldn't accept,
right?
I think that's what he was getting at.
It's like a bachelor
if he wasn't in the challenge,
Mhm.
he wouldn't normally have accepted that offer, and I think that's what he meant, which I think was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a bachelor party. If the vows have not been exchanged yet, it's not cheating.
God.
Oh my God.
I can see why it worked out so good with you with your first wife. That worked right in course.
Oh.
All right, one more. Where? Let's see here. Well, too many boxes.
I know the feeling.
Oh. I'm sure if somebody came into my house and seen my little.
Well, right now I have this. I listed clothes yesterday during the challenge. So I have this pile of clothes that I have to go put out in inventory. So I look like a hobo. And then Jim's got like all these cardboard boxes in here because he's got to pack all this stuff. So you have this hodgepodge stack of empty cardboard boxes and then clothes all over the place. It looks dirty. And then I got a pile of stuff that I want to list that I haven't done yet. Anyway.
I just figure it's a good thing nobody comes into my house because
That's why I don't have any friends. I don't have to worry about anybody coming in the house.
you have lost your mind. You become a hoarder.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
I think when they hear that you sell on eBay, I think they think you've already lost your mind anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you always get like this, well, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard that on Thanksgiving. How's the business going? Well, I'm still selling stuff, so I guess it's still pretty good.
Think this, if you worked as like a bank teller, or like let's say a waitress, they wouldn't say, well, how's it going? Is there a waitress working for you?
Yeah, still above ground, so I guess I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I still live in a house and I'm still walking around, so
yeah.
I have those two things going for me.
I just think it's funny. Okay, I hope that fits. Those, yeah. Well, let's see here. How are we gonna do this? Just like that. Easy peasy.
I really hate this listing on a computer.
Well, why don't you list from your phone?
I feel like I'm forgetting something, or I don't know. I just feel like I have to go and double check it and triple check it. Like I'm doing something wrong.
Why don't you just list from your phone then? If you feel more comfortable
It's been
doing
so
that.
glitchy lately. I thought, well, I might as well just quit doing that for a while and just try to list on the computer, you know. But it's just so.
Yeah, but I know.
Doesn't feel efficient at all.
I know. It's not. Because you're so used to, you know, having a listing done in like, you know, 2.2 seconds, you know, you're not used to 5.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It feels like it takes forever. I understand. And I used to feel like that because I used to list off my phone only, and then I moved to the computer, and it seemed like it took forever, and I had to make a new way of how I did a listing because it wasn't the same as I just had to change it up. You know, like, you know, doing the drafts and then going and taking pictures. And that's just kind of the way that I had to do it to make it work for me.
Yeah, because I always did it on my desktop. So to me, like doing it with a smartphone is like totally foreign to me. And to tell you the truth, not that I think it's like bad or good. That's why I don't do stuff like Macari or stuff like that, because I just don't enter stuff in a phone app type application.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it because I'm like, well, that's a phone app thing, so I don't even really look at it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I completely and totally ran my business for 4 or 5 years off my phone.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like a big difference right now.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. I like having a keyboard in front of me and a monitor in front of me, and then I just go and do all my data entry and stuff, and I'm very comfortable that way, and I don't feel like that phone. Or I'm turning into person.
I like typing on the computer and stuff, but I still just the whole, I don't know, just the whole everything that's on here. I'm just not used to it anymore, you know.
Right.
I like being able to type on my keyboard. That's nice, but and it's nice seeing everything bigger, you know. But
I think I'm like turning into an old person. Like, I don't understand this newfangled phone device. I got to do it this way. Bring out the select truck. I'll do it that way.
I think if you just keep working at it, Nikki, I think it'll.
Yeah, it's just slowed my listing down big time.
Right.
I'm just so much better at doing it on the phone.
You'll see like one of those big tablet.
How's your internet working at your house? Pretty good.
This morning it was kind of shitty.
Oh, because I know you're having some trouble with it.
Yeah, this morning was terrible. Like this morning when Valerie was doing her video or her live thing for mail call, I mean she was like way ahead of where my computer was at.
Huh.
So finally I just told Valerie I'll watch it later because I'll keep up with it anyways. So
I'll be right back.
No, I'm not sitting in the van for Nikki's lister.
I had 2 cars stop. I opened up the doors of the van. I'm pulling cardboard out. We look like freaking hillbillies. I'm pulling cardboard out of our van because I went and dumpster dove yesterday. I didn't transfer the cardboard from a regular van to the van. I put the cardboard in the dead
cardboard van.
So I got the cardboards half full of all these Christmas ornaments. We got life-size Santa Claus in there and all this other shit. I got the doors open, so it's half Christmas, half cardboard. I got these cardboards all spread out. And these 2 cars go by. The one car hits the binders because they're like, check out what I got in my van. And then the other car's got to stop behind them. Just stopping traffic. Yeah, you ought to do that show. Do a lister and ditch it right out of your car. It's a rolling sepulcher of junk.
I could have.
That's what we should do. You could do one from her van, and we could do one from our van. Because she filled up. She was saying this weekend the ass that died. Gary had to go get something. He goes, "You got a problem?" Because she's already like jumped it up all the stuff.
Things packed full tight, boy. You couldn't even sit in the driver's seat if you needed to. That was when he said it. He said, "You've got a problem." It was when he opened the driver's seat and he couldn't even get into it.
You should start like a learning channel show, like van hoarders.
Stupid. We bought it up by you. It's called like Wheels for Wheels. It's this handicap van which died. We used to drive it around, which it died. So now it's full of cardboard. It's just all it is. It's like a shed full of cardboard. Yeah, it looks like a hillbilly. We used to drive it around, and then people would be like, "Oh, do you haul elderly people?" You know, they're like trying to get us to haul their old people to doctors.
I caught people writing down the phone number, so I went and took a scraper and got rid of the last 2 digits of the phone number. And I'm like, "Oh my god, they're going to start calling these people."
Where the heck did we buy that? Was it Two Harbors? No.
It was Duluth.
It was just north of Duluth.
Just north of, but it wasn't quite to Two Harbors. But it was on that road that runs along the lake there. It was
You're probably up on the French River or something.
Or crappy. It was like a crappy motel. You go through a suburb of nicer houses, then you go through a more rural area, and you're following the lake going north, and then you hit. There was this crummy old motel, and I pull in like Marlon Brando. Was I smoking that?
No, Norbert was here. No.
Okay, so I get off the bike. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for the van or whatever. And they're like, I don't know who you are. The guy's like all suspicious. His wife comes out like, she goes, should I get somebody? Look at her husband. I can tell she means like the cops. Oh, I'm like, no, I bought a van. And I go, do you know anybody in this neighborhood selling a van? And he points over there, points to the neighbor. He goes, well, they are. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Jeez.
Don't kill me. I pulled him.
And it wasn't like you're dressed like a biker thug. I mean, he's wearing an Arctic Cat winter jacket because it's the fall of the year, so it was a little chilly.
Well, it's pouring rain at this time. Yeah, the guy.
It was real nice when he left here,
and
he gets up to like Ashland, and it starts raining, and it's downpouring in Superior and Duluth.
I crossed that bridge. I don't know what the speed limit on the bridges was. About 45. Nikki, I don't know that bridge.
55.
What is it? 55?
Yeah.
I was riding on 2 inches of water. I mean, that bike was everywhere. I got the wheel everywhere but straight. Right, left. I'm trying to keep that bike upright. It's sliding sideways, fishtailing all over the place because I'm hydroplaning so bad. I mean, it's a huge downpour. So I finally get into town where it slows down a little bit because I'm trying to keep up with these cars so I don't get run over. But I mean, the bike is like all over the place. It ain't made to drive on that much water. So anyway,
he pushes the bike. It had this like ramp on the side for people with wheelchairs. So he pushes the bike into the inside of the van, ties it down, gets in the van to drive it back home. So then, because he loves using cruise control. I hate cruise control because I like to have total control.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But anyway, so he puts the cruise control on, and then what happened? Did it keep accelerating?
Yeah, locked on.
It locked on.
I come into a town with a 35-mile-an-hour zone, and I'm hitting the brakes. I take my foot off the gas, and I'm hitting the brakes, and it won't turn off. I turn it off on the handle. It won't turn off. The cruise control is stuck. The only way I could stop the car was I had to kill the engine. I had to shut the key off and then coast to the top. I was like, what the hell? So I disconnected the cruise control and never tried to use it again. But like, dude, you told me that in your listing. By the way, if you use cruise control, you'll die.
It was a Dodge, and it did what all Dodges do. The transmission went out in it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dodges have great four-wheel drive, but their transmissions are often weak.
Yeah.
But their four-wheel drive is exceptional.
Don't have very good heat in them, too.
Oh, yeah, that thing didn't heat up very good either, that Dodge van. It was always cold.
You can't beat a... I like Chevy, but you can't beat a Ford with its heat.
Yeah. I hate using cruise control. Hank said the same thing. I like to be in total control. I like to have my foot on the pedal.
Yeah, I followed people like you go down the expressway.
Shut up! I'm a good driver.
No, I can't drive a cruise control either.
The whole time I drove,
I love cruise control.
Oh.
Love
the whole time I drove semi-truck coast to coast, I never used my cruise control.
Really?
I don't like. I like to be in control. I'm a control freak.
Yep. I never used my cruise control. I was always afraid I'd get tired and fall asleep at the wheel, and then I'd...
I like to drive, and I don't like to use cruise control.
Yeah. I sometimes use cruise control around here, especially in my car right now because the speedometer isn't correct all the time.
Uh-huh.
But usually I don't use cruise control.
You know what? With Jim, with the cruise control, on. Then he's gonna like start effing with his phone, start doing this. Next thing you know, he's like going over the white fog line and stuff. I mean, I'm like, can't you just drive? I mean, just because your foot is on the pedal, you gotta like, oh yeah, I heard my phone make a noise, or oh yeah, let me look at this real quick, or something like that. I'm like, Christ's sake, can't you just drive? Yeah, he's a horrible driver.
Yeah, and she drives like 10, 50 miles under the speed limit too.
No, I don't. Only if the roads are bad. I do not.
My husband is terrible with following too closely. I hate that. Oh, that drives me nuts. Especially being a truck driver, you know, because that just drives me nuts when he follows too closely.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really care what he does, but that following too closely, that drives me. And then people slam on their brakes, and he's got to slam on his brakes. And so you wouldn't have to slam on your brakes if you gave him enough following distance.
No, you do that where you ride.
I'm a speeder. I speed, but he's crazy.
He rides the edge of the pavement. That just drives me insane. I mean, he'll be over the white line on the very last inch of the asphalt before the gravel.
But she's never going to come off. I can tell you, you don't want to be riding the yellow line. Every second.
I don't ride the yellow line. I make it where I'm centered in between the two lines.
When you lose control of one of your front wheels, you want to be as close to the edge as you can get. I've had brake lines blow. That's why I don't follow people on their butt either.
Yeah, I don't follow too close either.
Growing up, I didn't have great vehicles, so you learn to take precautions.
Yeah.
It was wintertime up here once, and I was going somewhere with my mother. And she's like, just pass this person. The roads are real snowy and that. I'm like, I don't want to. I just have a bad feeling because we're hauling a trailer with 2 snowmobiles on it. I'm like, the trailer just looks like it's kind of fishtailing and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm just going to hang back from it. Now, 5 minutes after I said that, that trailer hitch broke off their truck. And it's fitting like a top right across the other lane of traffic. Thank God nobody was coming. It didn't get hit, and then it went careening down in the ditch with this sled trailer with these 2 snowmobiles on it. I'm like, oh man, am I glad I didn't try passing them. My luck, it is not to let me I was passing them.
Yeah, Mike would always say, because I don't know, just not having control or whatever, I just never fully trusted him in his driving. He goes, I don't know why you're so afraid. He said, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for, it's my job to drive. And I don't, I don't know why I was so afraid, I should have just trusted him.
If Jim is driving, I just like to try to fall asleep because I can't make it. Like, we'll be coming back from Florida. We're hauling the horse trailer home with us one day. And then he goes, I know you're going to wake up because he like hit a bump or something like that. And I'd be like, is everything okay? The first thing out of my mouth, and I'm like, is everything okay?
My husband does that. He'll be sleeping all of a sudden. If I even just swerve for a second or whatever, he's like, oh my God, is everything okay? What's going on?
It's like great.
Nothing. Haven't you ever swerved for a second?
Yeah, it's great when the person has zero confidence in you.
Yeah.
Well, he's not used to driving a horse trailer, and I'm worried that he'll do something stupid.
It's a trailer. It doesn't matter what the hell's in it. It's not like the horses are having a square dance in the back or something.
Or I'll tell my husband, it's like, when you've got as many miles under your belt as I do, oh, here it comes. You're a professional. It's like, well, I am. And when you have as many miles under your belt without accidents as I do, then you can talk about my driving.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else, because I've hauled the horse trailer a few times in Florida. So one thing I hate too, which I make him drive down the mountain there, where you're coming down out of Tennessee and going into Georgia, you get some pretty good, downhill driving and that. I hate that part because you got the trailers pushing you down, I hate that too.
Did you pick up on that though? If it's real snowy or real sketchy, she makes me drive. I'm not dry road, she thinks we're going to pile up. But if it gets real sketchy, that's like, okay, Jim.
You trust me when it's more dangerous. Makes a lot of sense, Tara.
When I was a kid, this is a true story, and it's very scary looking back. When I was a kid, I was 16 years old. We're driving down to Florida. Well, we're coming up to the mountain. Well, we're far away, and my dad slept longer than he thought he was going to. We get into Tennessee at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. It's a pouring rain, and there's road constructions on the mountain roads. My dad told me just keep the cruise control at 67. The cops usually won't bother you at that speed.
Oh my gosh.
So I just left the cruise control on. My mom's listening. I remember my mom had the Bee Gees going in the conversion van. She's reading a book, so she's got the dome light on. She's reading a book. Listen to How Deep Is Your Love or whatever. I'm driving this van to our death. We're hitting all these bumps and ruts and washouts in the road construction. My dad comes up real calmly and goes, "Hey, Jimmy, yeah, that next thing, or why don't we just pull over and top off on gas?" "Oh, no, Dad, I got gas while you're sleeping. We're all good." No, I need a drinker, so just pop into that service station." We get off the exit. He just starts screaming at me because he didn't want to shake me while I was driving. And they start screaming at my mom. He's like, "Diane, why didn't you tell the kid to slow the frick down?" It's funny. And my dad's face was white. He came up to the front of that van, saw the road, saw we were going 67 miles an hour. I think he was ready to fill his face.
When I was thinking about training future semi drivers, they told us that in the training for trainers was that, yeah, don't start yelling at them when they're driving. Have them pull over and then you give it to them.
Well, see, the one time he let you drive there again, driving to Florida, and didn't you like doze off and go right off an off ramp?
Oh shit!
You did. You told me that you fell asleep and went right off an off ramp.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Like he meant to do it. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I told him.
Now, would you trust him driving after he tells you a story like that?
Like, "Did you fall asleep?" I said, No, I just need to get a Mountain Dew. Yeah, at this gas station. They're like, "Right there." I'm like, "It's an off ramp. There's got to be a damn gas station." I'm like, "Please be a gas station. Please be a gas."
Yeah, so you tell me a story like that. Yeah, I'm going to wonder about your driving.
Hey, life has risks.
That was like yesterday when I went to the store. I went to town and I was so tired, and I was like starting to do that thing where you're getting tired while you're driving, and I wasn't quite falling asleep, but I was kind of zoning out, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I got to the grocery store, I'm like, well, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and get myself together, you know? Well, I fell asleep in the truck for like a half hour. In the grocery store parking lot. Some cart boy comes up. "Are you okay, ma'am?" He knocks on the door. I'm like, take a nap here, you know? Well, anyway, I hate that. Anyways, my husband, when I called him when I was leaving town, I said, "All right, I'm heading home. You need anything else?" "What the hell is taking you so long? I never wondered what the hell you were doing." I was like, "Well, I was tired. I took a little nap in the parking lot." He's like, nice, real nice. I'm like, "What? Would you rather have me drive while I'm tired?"
Yeah,
I was tired.
You get where you gotta go, plus you get a nap. You're doing multitasking.
I got to the store, so then I took a little nap.
One time, we're driving to Florida, okay, and we got the horse trailer on. So we get into like North Florida, and my gas gauge was a little bit wonky on my truck. So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I pull off. I'm like, I gotta go get gas. So I go pull off this off ramp, you know, with the truck and trailer. I go up to the pump. They turn their credit card readers off at night. Now I don't know where the next gas station is. I'm like, shoot. I mean, because I don't want to get like run out of gas. So Jim's like, well, we're just gonna have to stay here until they turn these pumps on. We'll probably have to just stay here till like 6 in the morning. And then he starts with this. "Oh, this isn't good. No, this isn't. Oh yeah, down here. This is how like people get like, you know, robbed and killed and stuff."
Oh my gosh.
Good. He starts saying all this. And then he sees me crawl into the back seat of the truck and out like a light. He tells me this whole stuff. I was like, then he just falls asleep. So I got the windows open because it's Florida in August, so it's warm at night. It's like 3 in the morning. And you know, you got like, it's kind of a real rural area. So you got all this wildlife sounds of Florida, like the croaking. And I'm like, oh, this is just real nice. Me, my sleeping husband, my baby's in the van in the truck with me. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat. I can't go to sleep. And I have this knife in the truck. So I got it in my hand. Okay, because I figure like if anybody tries something, I can like stab them once and hopefully dumbass wakes up here, you know, where you can do something, you know.
Oh my
And
god.
he takes like 5 minutes, tells his whole dissertation how this is a horrible situation we're in, and then goes to sleep.
The stress exhausting.
It was a cool tourist trap gas station, which for whatever reason turned their card readers off at night, which seems idiotic to me. But they had like a stuffed mounted shark hanging in the window, and then they sold like all these alligator heads and everything. Is like one of these real tourist trappy kind of gas stations.
Wow. Crazy.
If you're ever going into Florida, when you go through Georgia, either Valdosta or what's the other, Tifton, Georgia, gas up there, because when you get into North Florida, for some reason, that north like quarter of Florida, it's tough to find a service station.
Huh.
So just a little advice. That's because if you get gas in Georgia, it's South Georgia. It'll get you way into the state. So, but
Yeah.
Which is funny because that day we had the trailer with us, and you have to go through those ag stations going in and out of Florida. So because like us with a livestock trailer on, they pull you over to check you. I missed it, so I must have drove through it, but nobody chased us down to check our trailer going into Florida because that same trip on the way out, again, we just drove right through, missed it. It's middle of the night or whatever. We had one of those Florida State Troopers chased us down. I mean, he had to like check our whole trailer and everything. Yeah, it was a long time. Side of the road. He's looking at Jim bought this naked mermaid statue that's about 3 foot high. It's riding home in the back of the horse trailer, and this huge like office copy machine that his parents insisted that we bring down, and then we bring it all the way down, and then they decide they don't want it. So now we have to bring it all the way home with us, which it was tied in the trailer, let loose somewhere in Florida, and now it's all effed up because it's been rolling around the trailer.
The cart that it sat on is completely smashed. I was so mad. I'm like, well, at least I'm going to score a copier, I guess. I brought this thing down here. Now the copier is just junk, too. I open up the door for this stupid cop, and there's my copier all destroyed. He's like, ugh.
Oh, my gosh.
I told him there's gonna be a naked mermaid, and there's going to be a copier when I open up the door. He's like, well, as long as there's no horses. I'm like, all right.
But ironically is because his parents have orange trees. My son had woodchucked up a bunch of these green oranges from their house, and you're not supposed to take that back out of the state.
If you'd have gone in the back room of the trailer, we had a cooler full of oranges, not stamped.
He did not know about. My son had just did this in his little spare time down there.
Although I don't know if they care if you take it out. I think it would be worse if you brought it in.
Maybe? Yeah, I don't know.
But I do know they usually ask you if you have any fruit. I'm not sure he didn't ask you if you had any fruits or trees or anything on board.
Oh boy,
you get that in California too.
Oh really?
Yeah, because of fruit flies.
That's the only state I've ever taken horses into where they'll pull you over and check. Because that trip we had hauled down furniture for his parents with our horse trailer, so we weren't hauling any animals anyway. But then a couple years ago, we hauled down a horse to Jacksonville, Florida. And they hit you up coming in with the horse, and you got to show them all your paperwork on the horse and stuff like that.
Huh.
Like, you want me to open the trailer so you can verify it's the horse? He was pretty cool that way. He didn't do that, but you got to show him your interstate health papers and your coggins and everything.
Well, that was a different cop, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's real laid back. My guy is totally uptight.
Well, when they chase you down, though, I'm sure they are more uptight.
Well, I asked him, I go, can I sit in the truck? No, I just sit out here by the trailer, sir. Oh, great. Okay, I'm wearing shorts because I'm in a truck with heat. But it's at night. It's like about 50. I'm used to like 80-degree days or whatever. I'm out there in the windy side of the freeway. I'm freezing my butt off. It takes me like a half an hour to get.
It's like done. 1 a.m. Yeah.
I'm in flip flops and shorts. So if you're hauling a horse trailer, stop at the ag check. Don't.
Yeah.
Hank asked, they want the Coggins paperwork or something?
Yeah, you got to have a negative Coggins test paperwork, and then you also have to have something they call an interstate health certificate where they're good for 30 days, but you have like your vet, does the horse's temperature and does a general look over and make sure the horse isn't sick or whatever. So those things when you go out of state.
Gotcha.
Oh, it was a trailer paperwork we were having problems with.
Yeah, because we had the wrong license plates on the trailer then, which we didn't know at the time. We accidentally put the other trailer's license plates on, which in Florida, yeah, so that took forever.
Yeah, Grandma Magic Classics. I got a lot to do too. I gotta run to town, get a few things, and then time to get busy.
Oh, Jessica's here.
Yep, for a moment. I gotta finish up some shipping and then I'm gonna clean house today.
How you
That's
feeling?
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
do
feeling
the
better?
not so reseller thing. Yeah, I'm alright. The antibiotics are kicking in and so it's coming out of my nose instead of like coughing it up, so that's good.
Yeah.
You
Clearing
sound
out.
better.
And my ears don't feel so bad today. Yesterday it felt like the pressure was just driving me crazy. So
Yeah.
that's good. So it's all kicking in like it's supposed to.
Good.
Beth said you have to stop at the egg station with
Yeah,
any
with any
trailer
trailer.
or even
That's
you.
true.
Now I'm yawning. Great.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm yawning. I got big plans for today.
It does say trucks with trailers.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
For sure, but I think we might even check trucks with toppers on too. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know when I was a kid they did, but I don't know
Yeah.
if they do now.
Anyway, Valerie, do your thing.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up for the day. Hope everybody
Give us
has a
thumbs
great
up.
day. Get some listing done. Get some things sold. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, when am I gonna get this one?